Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here in the wonderful home of Billy Nelson. Thanks for inviting me in your house. How you been? It's been a while since I spoke to you.
Things are right, no bad. You know, a few disappointments in the last month or so, but we're big enough and ugly enough to try and go over them.
You're certainly ugly enough.
And move on. Well, I don't know.
Well, let's talk about the disappointment that happened 2 weeks ago. I mean, like Martin, it was a step up for Martin against Hunt. Was it a fight too soon or?
Not at all. No. I believe I know what Martin's capable of. He's an outstanding fighter. I've since found that there was an issue affecting him, no physically, but there was something said to him from family in Congo that he kept to himself, and it's fried his head. And there's no excuses. You know, that's the reason he never performed. Believe you me when I tell you he's a very good fighter, an excellent fighter.
Well, again, because there was stories coming out from the lead up to the Hunter fight with the sparring sessions with Joshua and what Anthony Joshua was saying about Martin Bakole, and even yourself. You've been very adamant on social media like Twitter, saying things like he's going to be a world champion and all this sort of stuff.
So he will be. I still believe he will be.
So this isn't people say it's not a loss. It's not a loss. It's a lesson. Is this the sort of thing with Martin?
It'll need to go down as a very valuable lesson. You know, if he'd have told me he was affected, and it was only on the Thursday of the fight, we were in London. If he'd have told me that this was said to him, I'd have pulled the fight, no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, so again, looking back on the fight, Martin hurt his shoulder. Was that an injury leading into the fight? Was that something that happened during the fight?
I can't take anything away from Hunter. Hunter done what he had to do, but believe me when I tell you, that was 40% of Martin Bakole, if that. I mean, I was distraught. It was that bad. It was unbelievable. All you've got to do is ask Anthony Joshua, Hughie Fury, Daniel Dubois, ask any of them, you know, how good this lad is. And people say, oh, you can date in sparring. He can date in fights. Believe me, he will do it in fights. And he will do it in fights.
So, what's next for Martin then? I know he's back home in the Congo and stuff like that.
Well,
is there still fights lined up in the UK for him?
Well, there's no. He get asked to. He get advised to go home and apply for a 2-year visa. He's went home, and unfortunately, the application hasn't been done yet. I've been kind of led up the garden path a wee bit regarding it, so I'm not very happy with that, and neither is Martin. So, we need to speak to a promoter and try and get things sorted. And if we can't get things sorted, we need to try and move on elsewhere.
Again, people say like a loss isn't the end of a fighter's career, but do you think that in 2019, with the right fights again, that Martin could probably build himself up and be in that world level?
100%. I mean, I texted Eddie Hearn yesterday. I says, what about making? We'd be coming down levels and levels for Hunter. I said, what about making? Would you be interested in making Dave Allen versus Martin either in Sheffield or in London? We'd have that fight in a heartbeat.
Did he get back to you?
No. No, because
he's a busy man. He's probably out.
He is a busy man. I know he is a busy man, but you know, we'd fight anybody, but we'd fight Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorham next, no problem.
You still, like you mentioned it already, but you still believe you can be world champion?
Oh well, I've no doubt. I mean, I hope it's a blip. If it happens again, I'll know that I've made a terrible judgment. I've not made a bad judgment, error of judgment, because he has got that talent. Anthony Joshua will tell you he's got the talent. Hughie will tell you, Daniel will tell you, Nathan will tell you, very, very, very talented. But maybe I'm wrong that he couldn't take into a fight, but he'll prove everybody wrong and hopefully prove me right.
Well, that's the main thing, proving you right.
He doesn't need to prove me right. He needs to prove to himself now.
Yeah.
Because I know he's got talent. He knows he's got talent. When Robert McCracken tells you he's a fantastic fighter and he'll give anybody in the world all the trouble they want, that's what.
Well, that's the thing. You've got high trainers like yourself, Robert McCracken, fighters like Joshua, some of the fighters you mentioned there, singing Martin's praises. So
Peter Fury.
The kid definitely does have the talent. Yeah.
Peter Fury sounded as disappointed as what I was. See, he sent me a lovely message after the fight. you know, saying, Billy says, that guy's a world champion in the making. He says, I can't explain what happened. I said, neither can I. Until I found out on the Sunday what actually happened.
Well, he showed heart with the injury to his shoulder to carry on, you know, so you can't fault him for that.
I know, and people say, I mean, you need to remember, Martin's African, he speaks French Congolese, and he said to me, he was asking, pull, and I'm thinking, people at home listening in the camera in the corner would take the impression that he's saying, pull me out the fight. He's actually saying, pull my shoulder. And which he actually done it. See, when the bell went, he actually done it against the ropes. You know what I mean?
So he did show heart in that sense. He's definitely got the fighter in him.
He's proved that in Sparm.
So 2019 for Martin, what are you expecting?
Well,
minor, major title of some sort?
Well, I hope so. I hope we can get some form of international title, intercontinental title. The sooner the better.
Get that world ranking again, I suppose.
Yeah, we need to get a world ranking, aye.
Well, again, the work never stops for you, Billy. You've got David Brophy coming back to action. He's on November 30th at the MTK Scotland show at the Emirates Arena in Glasgow. I know David was speaking to him a few weeks back that he's been a few injuries here and there with his eye. Months and months ago now he's got a wee shoulder injury. If it
wasn't for bad luck, you'd have nail up. Your heart goes out to him. You know, some days. I mean, on Tuesday yesterday, he looked absolutely fantastic.
I seen him on the pads. He put a video on Instagram. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't that. I don't think it was that one. But he was fantastic on the pads. And the day before that, he had a spar, and he was great. Everything that all the wee improvements we were trying to get, he's been working on it, and he looked great. And then he sparred this morning, it went again.
Oh, you're joking?
No.
So what's that?
Well, he's just going to go and get it rubbed again. He's just got to...
Is that what it is? There's nothing too serious. It just needs like it rubbed out or whatever it is?
I'm no physio. No, I think there's more to... I don't know. But it gets rubbed out, he tries to rest it, and then... But we just have to kind of doctor him through for this fight.
Is he going to be okay for November?
He'll be alright for November the 30th, aye. And then hopefully he'll get a title shot straight after next year on MTK Global Show if they've got another one in Glasgow.
I'm pretty sure they will be, yeah.
I mean, you've got to give credit where credit's due. It's been long overdue getting somebody like MTK Global in Scotland. I looked at the show in depth the other night, and the 50-50 fights on this bill are really good.
One on November 30th, yeah.
And it's got a bit of depth in the show. Unlike many of the shows that are shown in Scotland, let's be perfectly frank. The left hand side is going to beat the right hand side 95% of the time. That's not the case in this show. And it's only their second show. They'll only improve and get bigger. Well, hopefully they get bigger and bigger and go to bigger arenas and create champions. That's what's been missing in Scotland. We've not got enough champions.
Let's talk about a couple of fights on the bill then. Maybe a couple of fighters you know very well, Ian Butcher and Cash Farouk. Both Scottish fighters. Cash has got the British title. How do you see that fight?
I think it's a very interesting fight. It's a kind of crossroads fight for both guys. Cash Farouk won the title in pretty devastating style against a boy that looked as though he froze Jamie on the night, but you kind of take away for the slipping right hand was a cracking shot.
You were at the show, weren't you?
No, I did. I have watched it, but very impressed with him. But he's no fought anybody. Jamie Wilson is a good fighter in his own right, but he's not a top 10 fighter. You know, top. You know, or top half of the top 10. Whereas Butcher's been there and thereabouts. He's won and he's lost. He beat the boy. A somber or whatever his name is,
for the combat
that Lee beat. He failed the weight. He failed the weight. But I was in his corner that night along with his brother, and he boxed extremely well that night. If he boxed something like that at that level, but he needs to maintain it for 12 rounds. Well, can Cash do the 12 rounds at that pace and that ferocity? We don't know yet. If he can, he's going to be a very, very talented boy. You know, I think it's a dead interesting fight. I'd slightly favour Cash Farouk based on his youthfulness. That's all.
A fight that you probably I know you'll be looking forward to is the Lewis Benson against Tyrone McKenna fight. I think many people were hoping for a little bit more trash talking from the two of them because they both can talk, but it's been awfully quiet.
To be honest,
I need to start something on Twitter.
I don't know the boy McKenna well. I've watched him. I think he's a good fighter. I thought he gave Jack Carter a good fight. At times he gave him a good few problems, but Jack Carter's level, with the fullest of respect to both the boy McKenna and Lewis, is a few levels higher than their level. So and Lewis, he did lose his last fight against Coyle. It was a close fight, but I thought he lost it. But he can bounce back bigger and stronger. And if both of them, I think McKenna's had a win since.
No, they're both off losses. No,
were they?
Their last fight was on the same show.
I thought he had a fight in Belfast.
Both of them are comeback fights.
Then so he's coming off a fight knowing that he went the distance with Jack Carroll, and Lewis is coming off a defeat where he done well against an undefeated boy 20-0. So it's a good fight potentially.
What about Kieran Smith against Peter McDonough?
Well, Peter McDonough's asked me to work his corner.
No, has he?
And big Kieran's a pal, but I don't, he'll not mind me working his corner. I'm not training him, like, just asked me to come and work his corner on the night of the fight.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it could be the fight of the night.
Yeah.
I really do. Really do.
Can you step up for Kieran Smith though, because he's not fought anyone of Peter's calibre.
And Peter's fought everybody that's anybody at the weight. You know what I mean? No, I reckon that could be a right good fight.
So you're summing up November 30th card, NTK Scotland. Great card. Looking forward to it. You've got Brophy on the card.
I think we'll be on a wee bit earlier, but that gives you a chance to enjoy the rest of the fights as long as we do the job. I'm with the fullest respect to everybody else. I don't really care how their fights go. I've got my priority, and that's David Brophy. As long as he wins and looks impressive doing so, which I hope he does, and then he'll move on and hopefully get a decent fight, a decent title fight.
Can I just touch on a bit more on David Brophy? Like I remember talking to him a couple of weeks ago. He mentioned Zach Dunn, who he took the Commonwealth title from. Is he fighting? Is he world ranked now, Zach? And
but see, in Australia you get a world ranking easier than many countries in the world because it's such a vast place, and these oceanic titles tend to get you high rankings.
Right.
That'd be a great return.
But that's what I was going to say. Would you visit the Zach Dunn fight again to maybe take the world, not world title, but a ranking off him?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he outclassed Zach Dunn. It was far too good for Zach Dunn.
Would Dunn take the fight, do you reckon?
Well, at home he would take it, but he would get beat up again. Brophy's improved since then, even though he get beat with. I mean, see, my biggest disappointment in boxing was the Rocky Fielding fight. It really is. Because
well, you said you were working on the defence on Rocky's shot.
No, it wasn't. When he landed the right hand, he was to spring back because Rocky is like a piston, counter left, boom. He just turns it over straight away, and he done it, and he hit me at the top of the head. Unfortunately, his equilibrium went. He couldn't look at me after the fight because he knew, but we can't go back away. We have to go forward. Yeah. And I believe, that fight on Saturday with Zach Parker. Zach Parker's a good fighter, by the way. I believe Williams won the fight.
Oh, you would text me on Saturday night.
I was asking about the results, but I thought I'm kind of a dinosaur. I went up with there and I realised I've got YouTube on my telly and I didn't know, and I had to phone somebody to ask how do you get this onto the IFL.
You're watching that? Good man. Watching IFL TV. Good man.
So I've managed to. That's me. When I was on the YouTube, there was millions of boxing on it. I'm like, oh, you're beauty. Well, I'll never be down here at night time.
Your wife's got the love to herself.
She's got a TV herself now. Good. So, but Zach Dunn's a very good fighter, but he'll be out for a wee while. I think with his shoulder. I think it'd be a great fight, David Brophy versus Williams, maybe in February, March, for some form of title. Maybe I don't know how serious his injury is, but if he was to relinquish it with a pretext that he fights the winner or fight for some other form of title.
Zach Parker, who won the British title, would you visit that fight? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying we would. I mean, that's up to David's management. Of course we would. I know David would fight him, no problem. But what I'm saying is, if he was injured for a prolonged period of time and he relinquished the British title and David fought Williams, I'm just hypothetically speaking.
Fight. Williams will come forward fight and Brophy doesn't take a back step, does he?
It's a great fight for the crowd. Yeah. But if that equation happened, then the winner fights Parker.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's just hypothetically speaking.
Well, it's alright as you say hypothetically. It's getting. I mean, there's so many sort of variables in place and stuff like that needs to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you were obviously Parker's manager and you gave it up, then you'd need a guarantee that you fought the winner. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about you were texting me on Saturday night to watch the boxing Williams Parker fight. There was a Scotsman who you know very well, very, very, very well on the bill, who headlined the bill actually, is Josh Taylor. I just want to get your thoughts on the fight on Saturday night and Josh's potential. I mean, everyone I've spoke to, especially in Scotland, when it comes to trainers and managers and fighters, can't speak about Josh highly enough. I take it you're in the same boat.
Oh, Josh, he's very good. I've seen him train down in the McGuigan's gym in South London. Diligent trainer, very, very focused individual. Nice lad as well for an East Coaster. And
back up now. Watch what you're saying.
All kidding aside, he's a cracking guy.
You get what I'm talking about.
Great fighter, Ken. Great fighter. Sam Jones, who's the manager of Ryan Martin, was messaging me saying, this boy's the dog's bollocks, he's this, that and the next thing. I think he froze on the night, and that made the job a bit easier.
Was that down to Josh though? No,
anybody can freeze on the night, irrespective of your opponent. You know, I think it's the actual the atmosphere and the occasion got the better of him, because I've seen him fight on video on YouTube, and he's much better than what he produced on Saturday. But the only credit on the night can be given to Josh, and I think Abel Sanchez very, very early in the fight recognised his boy was going to get beat, because he said, listen, if you're not going to fight back here, we're as well just going home. Do you want to go home?
Yeah, I seen that.
You know, things like that, which was very, very negative, I thought, for an elite trainer like him, you know what I mean?
Do you think Abel Sanchez maybe should have talked more tactics, what he should do, rather than
even speak more positively, rather than everything was negative that came out of his mouth? And you know, if your trainers just give you a roasting in the corner, you're not going to be up on your toes and thinking sharply, you know. And
you gave me a few roastings and you didn't even train me.
No, I know. But you're not throwing punches.
Yeah.
No, you know where I'm coming from. You know, you try and be positive, and if there's a negative thing to say, make that short and sharp, not a full minute. But how can I slag Abel Sanchez? He's a fantastic coach.
I don't think you're slagging on there. I think
I'm just trying to think for the boxer's perspective.
What about the stoppage? And a lot of people said that it was a premature stoppage, and that. Do you think?
I think Victor Laughlin done him a favour, because he was going to take a lot of unnecessary punishment, and I think it was a good stoppage. Did he complain?
I don't think he complained. No.
And that's it then.
There you go then. Well, what's your how well do you think? Well, Josh is fighting Ivan Branchik now for the IBF World title.
People say the Progress fight's going to be hard. I think Ivan it was going to be a hard fight as well, because he's got a high work rate. He's a strong puncher. I think Josh's movement will be the telling factor in the fight,
because he's very, like you say, he's very structured, and he's come forward like no head movement, maybe a slight bit of head movement.
But Josh will create angles and bring uppercuts and hooks round the corner. I think he'll give him up.
Can he win the tournament, Josh?
Oh, without a shadow of doubt. Of course he could.
Will he?
Oh, certainly hope so. I hope so. Of course I hope so. Any Scotsman doing as well, I mean, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
A lot of hard work to get done, but between now and then, two hard 12-round fights between now and then. But if anybody can, I'm sure Josh Taylor can. Well,
Billy, again, thank you for your time. I mean, it's been nearly 20 minutes since we've had what? Yep, 20 minutes of talking. So yeah, you know. Right, but again, I appreciate you inviting me to your home, and thank you for this 5L TV.
Okay,
Thanks very much, Billy.
Cheers.
Thank you.